one of the things, I'm a club person. And one of the reasons was that when I left Guardian Express and I joined Prime People, one of the columns that I was writing was people, places, and parties. So I was like the society writer for Prime People. So because of that, I have to go to a lot of parties. I have to cover parties. Apart from writing stories, that then in Prime People we used to write what we call strange stories, where we travel to villages, strange
stories,
where we strange or unusual stories, where we travel to villages and go and do a story about village where people don't talk or village where people do this or that. But apart from that, when I come back, I must still cover parties. I will go to parties, and that's how I got to, because of the parties that I was covering at that time, I was writing a lot of columns. One of them was Silver Spoon, where I met mostly Femi, Remi Otedola, Larry Tajosho, Segun Awolowo, all of them. That's how I got to it. So I used to, because then they were young people moving up then, so I was like a reporter, and none of us used to hang out together, and we used to move around together. So since that time, I now cultivated the habit of going to clubs, because in fact there was a time when I was a single guy and I was living in Madibolija. When Dylan Modi was staying in the flat upstairs, I was staying in the flat downstairs. I used to go to club every day. Every single day I go to club. So because of that, I'm used to it, even at my old age now. Because even sometimes my wife will make fun of me to say, you still think you're a young one, this one. Because I go to club every week. I go to club every week, especially on Fridays. And I go to Crusader on Sundays for live band. Sometimes I go to Cielo on Thursdays. So I'm a nightlife person, yes.
Okay. Let's talk about your love for white. I remember that the first time I encountered you, you were in white, and you kept it going for a long time. What made you go to?
Yes, the story about white is very interesting. When I was in Prime People, like I said, I used to do a lot of stories and columns. So there was a particular story that I did for people who wear white and why they wear white. One of the people that I interviewed was Femi Otedola. He wears only white. Then most times now he wears white. So he wears, but most times he wears white. So when I interviewed Femi told me then that he had a dream, and he saw his grandfather in that dream. And his grandfather told him that he should start wearing white, that he's going to be a great person. Since that time, Femi used to tell me that, look, I'm the Abiola of our generation, and I'm going to be very rich. He used to say it then, when he was a nobody. Yes, we're talking about not back of, that's in the 80s. When basically he was driving one old car like that and was still staying with his father on Adenoro Gusoya, before he moved there to Obade Thomas, then to Ilupeju, then to GRA, then Ikoyi. I've always said that, when I interview him to say, look, I'm going to be very rich. And my grandfather said I should wear only white. So because I was, he was young then, and I was young, so I was really influenced. Because then, Femi used to wear white, then he would now use ashoke to do cap and the shoe. Fela used to wear shoe that they will use, and then they will use the ashoke to do the shoe, and the same ashoke to do the cap. So I was very influenced by that interview. So, and I said, look, I'm also going to dress like this. So, and I said, okay, fine. If you want to dress like this, let me give you some cap. So, give me some cap and some shoes. So, I now started wearing white. That was how I started wearing white. So, I will also wear like him. I will wear white and I will wear ashoke cap. I will use ashoke to do shoe and then use the same cap. I was doing that until we started Fame magazine. Because when we started Fame magazine, I was the editor-in-chief and the MD. So, I had to move around agencies to solicit for advert. So I started wearing suit. Prior to that time, I don't wear colored at all. I wear only white guinea brocade. But then I started wearing suit because I have to wear suit to go and make presentations at agencies for them to give us advert. So that's how I started mixing it. But since that time, most of the time I wear white.
I also noticed that for very many years you kind of raised the bar for society and entertainment reporting. Even when you were just a reporter, you stood out of the crowd. And I was wondering, Is it a decision you took years ago that you are going to create like a niche for yourself or an image for yourself?
No, I think what influenced that basically was, like I said, as a reporter, I was already moving with people from very rich homes. I had a column then that I was writing Silver Spoon, where I interviewed sons and daughters of very rich people, and I interviewed almost everybody from Biola Okoya, Larry Tajosho, Femi, So because I used to hang around them, because when I was moving with all these guys, I was just a reporter. I didn't have a car. I had one Kabu Kabu then called, the number plate of that Kabu Kabu was KNF. So it was KNF that I used to KNF. KNF is the one that used to take me around then, when I want to go and cover assignments. Because like I said, so when all these my friends, all of them have cars, but me, I will go and meet them when I want to go and cover events. Me, that will be there because if there's a big wedding. And the story that really gave me my break in journalism was the Tejo Okoya wedding. Yes, because I covered the Tejo wedding, it was huge, and then I did a follow-up on it, how much it cost, and say okay. But then after that was the Bianca and Ojukwu story that Kunle Bakar and I did. So since that time I've already had, yes, I was a reporter, but my profile was because I was covering society. We don't have as many magazines like that now, so we don't have as many society reporters like now. So I will stand out naturally, and then we were only few people then that would compete. I remember when Dele first came from Ibadan and joined Weekend Concord. When we get to our assignment, both of us will hire each other. We know that we are here to get stories. And I remember the wedding of the Awolowo was the one, and because he was very close to the Awolowos, and he had to beat me to tell all the stories. In fact, I had to clearly when I got to the office, I said, "There's no way I can be Dele in this story because he has access." Because then, when we got to Ekene, you could enter everywhere. I could not have access and all that. So it was that opportunity very early in my career when I was still in my 20s. I was able to mix with people who were already successful or from privileged homes. So I think that helps, yes.
If you are to address a group of young journalists who are seeking to be society reporters, who are seeking to be celebrity reporters and all that, what are the things you advise that you do?
The first thing that I would tell them is that you have to know who you are. You have to be self-assured. You have to work really hard. You have to be good enough. People will only respect you when they know you are good. When you're a very good reporter, people will cultivate you. Not that they like you, they don't like us, but they don't have a choice, they will cultivate you because they need you. So it is important for you to work hard and build a name for yourself. You must work hard on your brand and turn yourself to a brand. When you do that, you have to know who you are. You must not sell yourself cheap. If you're a reporter and you think that collecting brown envelope is what you're going to do, you will never make it. The brown envelope they will give you just for you to be able to survive and drink beer and buy maybe one shoe or something. That is not how to be successful. If that is the way you want to go, you will never be successful. I know so. What you need as a journalist is to build your contacts. Goodwill is extremely important in journalism. When you have goodwill is like a bank account. You can actually cash it. All the people that I know now that I'm enjoying their support and friendship, have known all of them when I was a reporter. All of them. I knew Femi as a reporter. I knew Dr. Makalenunga as a reporter. I knew Alachaniko Dakita as a reporter. That's what you need. You must, and I still have relationship with them till today. So it is your goodwill that will make you to go far. When you have enough goodwill, you cannot lack. You will always have support. When you knock, they will open the door for you because you've earned their trust over the years. But if you think you will blackmail people, I tell our young people, if you think journalism is for you to blackmail people and you think that you will make it like that, you are just deceiving yourself. You will just make small money that you used to eat Uguru and Ekpa. But if you want real money that will make you to be comfortable, you cannot get that by blackmailing people. You can only get that through the goodwill that you have acquired over the years.
Let's talk about your name, Mayor. How did you create it?
Yes, actually, Mayor is actually my name.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm from a polygamous home.
Okay.
My father had 10 wives. Yes, my father had 10 wives living with him.
Okay.
So, and because I'm from Ikorodu in Lagos State, and we are basically Ijabu, we are Remo people, basically, though we're in Lagos State, but we're basically Shagam people. So, the tradition is that the women of the house don't call the children of the house by their name as a mark of respect.
Okay.
So the women will come up with all these fanciful names. Oh, they will call some of them and say, oh, this is Badiano, this is Bedoshile, this is Sisilewe. They have all kinds of funny names that they will give us. So that's what they will use to call you, because they don't want to call you by your name as a mark of respect. In my own case, one of the wives decided that because there's one guy who happens to be the mayor of my father's club, who comes to our house regularly and who's quite known to them. So they just said, okay, this little boy, during my own time, they've given me my own name. My Muslim name is Sisiaka. Because I was born during the Easter, I was Abiodun. I have old names like that. So they named me Mayor to say, oh, this is our mayor. So at home, that's what they call me, the women of the house, the people in the house, even my parents, that's what they call me, Mayor. But my official name, Mayor, is just like a middle name or one of the names.
Okay.
My official name then was Iseka Abiodun Akinpelu.
Okay.
So when I was going to secondary school,
Okay.
then Nigeria was so very good. When you're going to secondary school, we are going to do what they call maybe they used to call something. What do they call it now? When you go to school, you spend some time before the school opens, like orientation. Okay, so when I was going, then you were going to go, when you're going to school, it's a big deal when you're going to school. So you're going to go with provisions, go with your box, go with the market, go with things. So my own cupboard then, I wrote Isaka Abiodun. I wrote it in my cupboard. Then it's before the time we didn't really know ourselves. So everybody would just get to know each other. So when people now see Mayor, it was easier for people to call Mayor.
Okay.
Then when I think in Form 1 or Form 2, there was a popular literature book that was compulsory for students, which was the Mayor of Casterbridge.
Yeah.
So people started calling him. Then, like I said, if you remember, I said that when I was in secondary school, I was very rascally. So then in Adiola, there is though I was rascally, but I was also brilliant.
Okay.
So then when we want to vacate, and then the principal will announce the first three, those in the first, second, third, and the last three. They will announce that during. So when we want to vacate. So most time when they mention my name in the first three, all the bad boys and the olodos who just believe that, okay, even if we are not Bilan, at least this is one bad boy with us who is Bilan. So immediately they say, oh, it's AKINPELU, everybody will shout Mayor, So I was quite notorious. I would know, a lot of people just call me Mayor Adeola because people in Jabu, the grammar school, music college, and so they will know then. Like I said, I used to follow alphabet, So everybody started calling me Mayor. So that was like my name. But my official name was Isaka Abiodun Akinpelu. So when I started working at Maximum Security Prison, Kirikiri, you remember that I said I was writing for Guardian, especially when I wrote about the coup, the Oka coup. So when I wrote about the coup, I cannot use my name because I was a civil servant.
Okay.
You understand? So because my official name, civil service, was Isaka Abiodun Akinpelu. So and most people call me Mayor. So I decided that, okay, let me use Mayor Akinpelu. So when I write stories then, and I submit to the Guardian next one, I will use Mayor Akinpelu. So people in the office didn't know that I was the guy that was writing, because I used to write a lot about the prisons, the things that are happening in the prisons and all that. So people didn't know that I was one that was writing it, because Mayor Akinpelu, they couldn't make the connection. So by the time I resigned and I joined the Guardian, I've already built my byline as Mayor Akinpelu. There's no way I can go back and say Abiodun Akinpelu or Isaka Akinpelu. So I just started using Mayor. So that's how Mayor became officially one of my official names. So instead of Isaka, I just changed it to Mayor. So my official name now is Mayor Abiodun Akinpelu.
You say that your training at University of Lagos prepared you for the journalism career?
Yes, I think so. In a way, because when I was in University of Lagos, at that time there was an unwritten rule to say that for you to contest for the presidency of OSU, you must be a very matured man with beers. If you remember then that Shegun Okewo was the president of National OSU during the Alimos Gold thing. So those who contest and become president at University of Lagos Student Union then were people who were looking mature. But there was one guy who used to work in the University of Lagos before he gained admission. His name was Parnaf Olajide Olukomi. And the way he was able to worm his way to hearts of everybody is that he will pick a topic and write about that topic and now paste it on the notice board in all faculties and departments. So some of us who, I was not a journalist then, I was in the history department, but I like the fact of what he used to write. So I would just write, sometimes paste it on the notice board. So that idea started there. Then when I was doing my youth service, I did my youth service at College of Basic Studies, Maiduguri.
College of Basic Studies.
Basic Studies, Maiduguri. And then we have this something, this intellectual exercise that if you have an idea about anything, don't just write and paste it on the board. People will write. So there's some of us like that. I will just write an article, you put it on the notice board. People who don't agree with it will write their own and all that. So by the time, so it was easy for me when I was in maximum security prison. It was easy for me when I was told to say, okay, look, these coup plotters that were executed, can you give us information about them? You understand? And they told me things I should look for. So it was easy for me to go to the backstage, talk to the warders, what were these people saying, what were the food that they had, what are the things they said, how were they executed and all that. So it was easy for me because I have a natural flair. It's something that I love. I have a natural flair to do. So when I wrote the Guardian, they called me to say, for some civil servant, you write well, why don't you join and all that.